Hey Taurus, welcome to May 2020 and happy birthday! Begin a program doing life-affirming, nurturing, and kind things for yourself. It will lift your spirit. Reevaluate what you're working towards. You may have indecision and it's okay. Your values are changing. This is temporary. The power of self-examination will have long-term effects and benefits. Be neutral about any quick rewards being offered now. Don't take any financial risks. Don't jump into anything no matter how good it appears. Slow and steady wins the race. And that's because your ruling planet, your avatar, Venus, is taking her turn to retrograde on May 13th through June 12th. Venus rules what we love and value. She rules our money. This is a very big money month for all of us because the Sun in Taurus and the Scorpio full moon on the 7th is bringing money and debt and finances to our forefront because this is the time of year and the month where we look at our money, because the money houses are being activated. But given what has been going on in the economies and having to social distance, quarantine, and so on, and businesses being closed, it is absolutely on the brain for all of us as to how we can get through this crisis and take care of our money. When Venus retrogrades, or any planet retrogrades, Mercury as well, it's not the time to make big decisions or financial moves because all the information isn't conscious. It is not in the forefront. Things can be hidden. Things can be unknown. And it can also bring along unscrupulous people that are really just trying to take advantage of a situation. Now, the Sun will couple with Mercury on the 4th, and that can be a day where you have, really good insight into your life, where you're going, and what is a good strategy for you in regards to your life purpose, and your money, and so on. Then we have the Scorpio full moon on May 7th. And this is going to bring your attention to other people. Scorpio rules the area of relationships for you. There could be some completions in this area for you, in the area of relationships. Perhaps, for some of you, you've gone as far as you could go in a relationship with a friend or a colleague or even, a marriage. Full moons bring things to completion. They bring things to our conscious awareness. If any of you find yourself in that position, it's not like, you wake up on the 7th and realize, you may, but it's more like you've been feeling this way for a long time. The friendship has run its course and you're ready to move on. You're ready for a change. So if that for some of you happens, it's appropriate. Now Mars is T-squaring the Scorpio full moon. He is challenging the Sun and Mercury in Taurus and the moon in Scorpio. So this brings a lot of energy to this full moon. And it can be, a very challenging time with our relationships because Mars can be making people irritable or angry or moody, and it can create conflict and disputes. So it can be like opposing sides where you may want this and maybe your partner wants something else, and that can be challenging. I find with Mars, the best thing to do is to put my energy into something physical. Working out, doing Pilates, walking, or throwing myself into a project, learning a new skill, having to take my energy and apply it to something productive. Then the energy has an outlet and I'm less irritable by other people. I'm less like, with what other people are doing. Because right now, I think we all need compassion for ourselves and for others because of having to be at home so much can make you stir crazy. So I think we need to just be patient with the process and be patient with each other. Now, Neptune is in positive energy flow with this full moon and the Sun and Mercury in Taurus, which is absolutely beautiful and the way out from the intensity of the full moon. So this is a time for you to look at your goals and your hopes and wishes and where you want to be in, say, 6 months from now, a year from now. It's totally appropriate to look at it and evaluate what you're working towards. Now is not the time to make any major decisions, except when you know something's completed for you, because the full moon is bringing things to completion. If something's done, it's done. And that is absolutely being shown to us this month at the Scorpio full moon on the 7th and the Gemini new moon on the 22nd. When something's completed, we need to let it go. We don't want to hang on to anything. And that can be a bit of a challenge because with Mars, there's this push energy to, make things happen. With the retrogrades that are about to happen, that just pulls the energy back. And we don't feel like, oh, I should be doing much at all. Now, what's interesting, too, at this Scorpio full moon is Mars, the ruler of Scorpio, the traditional ruler, and challenging the energy like this can be bringing secrets out into the open or what's been buried. And so, that's why you could be experiencing, some revelations here about your relationships, about your work, because Mars is at the top of the chart in your astrology. And so you could be, looking at your career and where your career is going. And, things come up out of the subconscious and even the unconscious when we are experiencing a full moon, and things that we didn't even know were important to us or we were really feeling until it gets revealed. So it will be interesting to see how you are feeling at the time of this full moon. And of course, it's very much, being driven by financial security, finances. This is a big month where you're looking at your finances, you're looking at your financial security. And that's why I don't want, you to make any kind of quick decisions about any kind of risk-taking with your money. It's absolutely not the time for that. Now, on May 10th, we have Happy Mother's Day. Isn't it beautiful that Taurus rules Mother's Day? I think it is. Taurus women make the best mothers, too. So I just want to give a big shout out to all the moms everywhere on the planet. Yes, Mother's Day here we celebrate on the 10th in the States, but all moms everywhere with this quarantine and social distancing and having the children home and having to do all the cooking and cleaning and homeschooling, you so deserve a holiday. You so deserve a parade, a celebration. So take wonderful time for yourself and do nice things for you this month, and especially on Mother's Day. Okay, so now we're going into the retrogrades. Saturn's going to retrograde May 11th through September 28th. Venus, your ruler, May 13th through June 12th, and Jupiter the next day on May 14th, September 12th. You know, I kind of think this is a good thing, because if we're still required to stay home in May and social distance, maybe not as much as we've had to in March and April, but still, I don't see everything, all the doors opening and everything going back to normal in May. I think we need to take it slowly. We don't want to have the retrogrades help us slow down, because the journey is within, and it's about really tuning into your soul self, your inner child, your mighty I am presence, your higher self, and making that connection to your higher power and taking your time with what you're doing. When Saturn retrograde, it's not about making career changes. With Venus, it's not about making financial changes. It is a time to look at relationships, and you're already doing that at the Scorpio full moon, and really evaluating, which relationship is more trouble than they're worth. That's what Venus wants, is to really examine, okay, is this relationship worth all the trouble it's giving me? If it's not, it's time to let it go. And that is one of the asks of the universe here in May for all of us, is to not hold on to anything that's not working. If something's not working, we want to release it and let it go. With Jupiter retrograde, it's about tuning into what your truth is now. With Jupiter, and for you, you do have Jupiter in that area of spirituality, philosophy, what you believe, superconsciousness, higher consciousness. And you are being given this opportunity to really evaluate what your truth is now. Not what it was 3 months ago, 4 months ago, a year ago, but who you are now. We're all being changed by this COVID. And this is an opportunity for you to evaluate your spirituality, your philosophy, your beliefs, and what do you still believe? Because sometimes I even find it with myself is that unless I examine a belief, I still can believe things that I really don't believe anymore, because I just haven't thought about it. This is an opportunity for you in this area to think about what it is you do believe, what it is that is true for you now, what your truth is. Not what other people's truth are, but what is truth for you? What is your truth? This is the time to do that. And it's a good time to do it, to take our time and really evaluate where you are now and where you want to be in the future. And you'll really feel that pull forward next month when Venus goes direct on the 12th and things start to move forward. Now, Mercury is on the move this month, which is good, and that helps with communication. Mercury moves into Gemini on the 11th, and then into Cancer on the 28th. So Mercury's on the move, which is great, because the last thing we need right now is Mercury retrograde too. So it's good that Mercury is moving forward. Then Mars enters Pisces on the 13th. So there's a lot of movement forward, movement back. The planets are very busy this month. And for you, now with Mars in Pisces, that is the continue of looking at what your goals are. You're focused on your future, but it isn't time to take action. It's time for strategy. It's time to strategize and also go back and complete things. That's another thing too with the Scorpio full moon. It can bring you to completion on certain things. It's time to complete things. What needs to be completed now? What projects can you finish up? Venus retrograde is excellent for that, for going back over and finishing and completing creative projects, maybe a hobby, any kind of project you've been working on. Now is the time to complete things and work on things that we can later use in the months ahead when things get back to normal again. And the Sun will trine Pluto on the 15th and Jupiter on the 17th. Those are excellent days. You're going to feel a lot of power that day, those days. You're going to feel good. You're going to feel like, you can conquer the world, and, things are going your way. And maybe like you're feeling like you're just in the flow of your own truth. You're in the flow with God. You're in the flow with your own conscious awareness, super consciousness, and subconscious. And that's a good feeling. So you're feeling good about where you're going and what you're doing. And it's very empowering for you. It's very fortunate that being Taurus, you're in positive energy flow with Pluto and Jupiter. It's very good. Fortunate for you. Then the Sun will enter Gemini on the 20th, and we have the Gemini new moon on the 22nd. Now, this is really interesting, too, because this moon is being challenged by Mars, too, because Mars moved into Pisces, and now the Gemini new moon is really early. It's at 2 degrees Gemini, and Mars is challenging it, and so there's more energy here. Now, Jupiter and Saturn are in positive energy flow with the Gemini new moon, which is really good. Jupiter is blessing this new moon, and Saturn is also blessing this new moon. So this is very good if you are applying a new approach to what you're doing, learning new skills, learning a new technology, taking the time to learn something new at the Gemini new moon is an excellent way to channel the Martian energy. Now the challenge comes in, of course there's always one, right? Is Neptune is challenging both Mercury and Venus. And when I see an aspect like that, that's where it just continuously reminds me of those fake people in Nigeria who are always trying to Facebook women and tell them that they're your soulmate, and oh, if you just give me $100,000, $50,000, whatever they get out of people, I can have the surgery I need for my broken foot, and then I can fly to see you, my soulmate. So this is where people use words to seduce, where they use lovely language to trick you into buying into their scheme. And so for you, this is a time where, you absolutely don't want to take any kind of financial risk. If anything seems too good to be true, it is. Neptune rules illusion and delusion, and it rules fantasy. And with Venus involved, Venus is love and relationships, and she's also money. And she's sitting right next to Mercury. So, and they're both being challenged by Neptune, which means we can be forgetful, we can have foggy thinking, we're off our game. And that's when I make mistakes, is where I'm like distracted. I'm usually like doing too much. I'm working so much that I'm distracted, and I'm not seeing the pickpocket over here who's reaching into my pocket. And it's like, wait a minute. And for you, Gemini rules your personal income. It rules your money. And both Venus and Mercury are being challenged by Neptune there. So don't make any, quick decisions about money. Anything that appears to be good, it's not. Don't believe it. Take a wait and see. And do your homework. Make sure, because like the Nigerian guys, they always like steal nice photographs of people off of Facebook, and then they pretend that that's them. Well, unless you're live with someone, you're doing a Zoom live or a Skype live or a FaceTime live, how do you know what they look like? And so be really wise and take your time with anyone who's trying to make time with you and make financial gain from you. I'm not saying anybody's going to get away with anything. And it could be very entertaining. You know what I mean? It's like you could find like, oh, this is interesting. Wow, this is a new one. And, so, but the energy is really good for creative projects, spirituality, getting out into nature, dreaming, and it's fabulous for that. And you notice like that has nothing to do with details or finances. No, it's about using the time creatively and not being in a hurry for anything. This month is not about worldly success and worldly achievement. It's not, because we've got so many retrogrades, and especially Venus, because she's so personal to us. She rules our money. She rules what we love and value. She even rules the tastes we like and the colors we like. So it's very personal when she takes her turn to step back, and it's our opportunity to pull that energy within and use our power from within. So it is absolutely the time to take a wait and see. Now, one thing that Venus retrograde can do is she can also bring people back from our past for a visit. And that's fine if you're reconnecting with friends or old loves that you want to connect to, but you don't have to. You are in the driver's seat. It's your life. You are in charge. You get to decide for yourself. With the Gemini energy, you might have some indecision, because, you might want, 1 minute you might want this, and then the next day you might want that. And that's okay, because that's typical of the Gemini energy. It rules duality. And Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So in Gemini, she can be a bit of a flirt here too. So people could be flirting with you. People could be making time with you. And that's fine to be, flirtatious and having fun. It's always intention. What is the intention with it? If it's just to have fun and hang out and say hi, that's fabulous. That's something we can all do online right now until it's safe for us to be close together again. And that will come. So it's a good month for you. You're in a strong position. And you can just sit back, and you're good at that, right? Is taking your time with things, slow and steady. You're really good at that. And so you're kind of in your element in that respect. It's just really important for you to do nice things for you. The universe wants you to be creating life-affirming, nurturing, and kind things for yourself. So it's all about the self-care right now. Loving yourself, being present, taking good care of you, not being in a hurry, doing nice things for yourself every day, putting something in your day that you look forward to, and when it's time, we'll move forward, and we're absolutely going to be moving forward in June. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, favoring, and sharing my videos. Taurus, you're amazing. And thank you for subscribing. You totally rock. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps to support the channel, and it does let you know when I upload. So until next time, Taurus, slow and steady wins the race.